I'm about to say something controversial. Victorinox Swiss Army knives overrated. For the last few years, I've been trying to find a Swiss Army knife that is perfect for me. The British Army knife pattern is better, and here's why you should have one too. Over the last 15 plus years, I've owned 50 plus Victorinox Swiss Army knives. Now, I'm not a hater, I respect everything that they are. I'm actually quite a big fan of them, but I'm really struggling to find one that is perfect for me and has only the tools that I actually need with nothing wasted. Now, here's an example of some of the ones I've got in my collection. I'm going to go through a couple of quick bits about some of the ones that have, too many wasted tools. And for me, it's things like on this climber, you get a main blade, but you also have a small secondary blade. And for me, that would be more useful if you add something like a small file. And the can opener on there isn't that great. And the parcel hook and punch on the back is something that I never really use. And it's the same with one of the old Pioneers. It's got the can opener on it again. Even things down to the Cadet, which is a very sort of minimalist carry. This would be even better if it was just a one layer with the main blade and the file, or replacing this opening layer with something completely different again. And even on the older ones, they were still using those tools that I never really get much use in my sort of carry, even the corkscrew. So for that sort of reason, the British Army knife is number one. Now this is my 1952 British Army knife. It's been issued to millions of soldiers for 50 plus years, and I believe this exact pattern is still issued to soldiers today, and you can actually buy a civilian version of this. Good friend Mark over at EDC did a great video on that. I will link it up in the top here somewhere, and you can see the civilian version. But this one is dating back over 72 years, and look at the condition this thing is. It's been used, it's military issue, it's got the broad arrow or the crow's foot, whatever you want to call it, on there, and has all the sort of markings and wear related marks from a well used and loved knife. If it's good enough for combat, then it's definitely good enough for everyday carry. Now, some of the reasons this is better: there's only tools on here that I am going to actually use and not sort of get annoyed at or get in the way. And we're going to take a look at some of those tools now. So it has a lanyard loop on here, which is great for clipping it on your pack, or you can put a pocket hanger or even a lanyard on there as well. Now with my slip joints, I love to put them in a slip, so that would stop any sort of issues with it rattling around in your pocket. But this thing is designed to take a beating. It's designed to be a real using tool. A little bit more information then onto why I feel this is better than a Victorinox Swiss Army knife. Now, the main blades you get on a Victorinox are quite thick behind the edge. You can really feel it there, and they don't have that much belly. This is one on an Alox, but take a look at the comparison of this massive sheep's foot blade on this Army knife. Look how much blade you've got there, and it is incredibly thin and slicey behind the edge. And this thing has been used and abused. You can see all the sort of wear and sort of natural use on that blade. And look at the edge. I just give it a little quick sharpen on the Lansky turn box, and it's got a screaming edge on there. Next, we've got simplicity. Now, there's nothing on here that you're not going to use. You have that beautiful main blade on there, which is going to do all of your everyday tasks without any issues whatsoever. You have a can opener, which actually works and can be used for multiple different things. You can actually open bottles with this as well if you're sort of careful with it. but this works far better than the one on a Victorinox. It's much heftier. You get the sort of the lobster claw style, which is great for piercing that can. And even the ones with a ring pull, you can get this right under there, yank it like that, and you can open a can that way. And then on the back, we have the marlin spike. Now, this was generally used to untangle rope and netting, but for more practical everyday uses, it's great as a punch. I actually use it to untie knots or untangle anything I'm sort of using. But even if you're just needing something to sort of move pots and pans around when you're on the camp stove, or even if you're just like, you know, flicking about the embers and things like that, this is perfect for that. And with a nice point on there, it works just as well for that as it does as a punch. Next, we have durability. Now, this knife or others like it have survived many wars, from World War II, Korea and the Falklands, and the proven signs of wear really show that this knife has been through the works and stood the test of time. Next up, we have value for money. Now, you can pick up these used British Army knives at antiques fairs, antique shops, and sort of flea markets. Now, I picked this one up for about £10, and for the amount of knife you're getting on this compared to the equivalent Swiss Army knife, for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. I mean, if you want something like the Cadet, which is a similar sort of tool set minus the spike, this is about £30. Climber, which is a little bit bulkier widthways, is about £25. And then even some of my favourite ones, like the Executive, it's discontinued, and they're harder to find than these military knives are because these were made in an absolute abundance. So for value for money, this beats it hands down every single time. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all one for fairness. Victorinox does have its advantages. You get some really useful tools, like on the front of this Climber, you get some tweezers. On the back, there is a toothpick, and on some models, you do get a sort of a set of shears or scissors, which are wonderfully handy for everyone's sort of EDC and sort of daily needs. They're also easier to find in stores. You can pick them up brand new. There's a modern warranty and customer service where you can send these off to get bits replaced. And that's exactly what I did with this Old Cross Pioneer. This is actually a brand new blade. I had it sent off, and within a couple of weeks it was sent back looking absolutely brand new. And the stainless steel requires less maintenance of these. The older stainless steel, you can get some sort of pitting and rust marks on it occasionally. I've never noticed that happen with a Victorinox Swiss Army knife. But for a real working pocket knife, for me, hands down, the British Army knife wins every single time. Now, I'd love to hear what you guys think about the video, what you think about the British Army knife. Are you going to go out and pick one up? Do you carry one? And what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. I really hope you have a wonderful day. Please like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. Peace out.